TRW. We are here looking at the the game is Royalists and Roundheads 2. The battle is Alford, and what we're looking at here is the Covenanters' right under Hackett, opposite the Royalist left under a Boyne. This for me is a step back to my my rebirth with Hex Encounter Wargaming. Yeah, not I don't make recommendations. This is certainly not a game that I would recommend, but again, it's not why I'm playing it right now. So I did feel like going back to my beginnings. Again, I'm not including some tabletop Hex Encounter Wargaming done much younger, because that really wasn't very significant. It was very little. It was tiny. It was a brief exposure. Actually, that's the best way I put it. I was briefly exposed to Hex Encounter War games as a child, and it didn't go anywhere, and there was nothing significant behind that, but I was aware of them. Okay. But now, several years ago, I think it was in 2011 or 12, I picked up Royalists and Roundheads 3. But anyways, wrestled through Royalists and Roundheads 3 and wound up getting Royalists and Roundheads 1 and 2. Now I definitely, I keep them together. I think of them as one. The Royalists and Roundheads 1 rules were so brief as to be difficult, very difficult. Royalists and Roundheads 2's rules were better than 1, but still not even minimally complete. It wasn't until Royalists and Roundheads 3 that the rules finally at least became, again, minimally complete enough to play. So I play with the 3 rules, Volume 3 rules. The rules are an evolution. They're clearly an evolution. Yeah, clearly. I don't think there's any question there. As a matter of fact, somewhere the designer has written that the rules were always intended to be a core rules, and actually there's very minimal, if any, scenario rules. Some scenarios don't have any scenario rules, so the scenario is just a little historical blurb, orders of battle, how many turns it lasts, the victory tables or victory determination sections, and who goes first, who sets up first. Just basic setup, basically. Then you have a few battles that do have like maybe 1 or 2 special rules. Like an example is a battle might have one side can't move for the first 5 turns unless an enemy comes within 5 hexes of any unit, of any friendly unit. But that's it. That's like the one and only scenario specific rule. They're really minimal scenario rules, if any. It's really the core rules. Yeah, I would say this is not a case of a series rules and exclusive rules. It's not even that. It's not presented that way. I don't even want to suggest it's that way. No, it's a core set of rules with a number of scenarios. Yeah, a number of scenarios, and those scenarios may or may not have scenario specific rules. Okay. So when I think of like the a handful of games that are there at the beginning for me for X Encounter Wargaming. Again, talking the 2011-2012 time frame. Royalists and Roundheads 3 is one of those. So that's what I mean by the beginning. So right now, when I was thinking, you know, hey, you know, I feel like going back to, it just felt like a good time to get back to something that was familiar, and this is definitely familiar. It's a good thing. So when I felt like getting back to something familiar, I actually went ahead and went back to my original videos from the very beginning, looked at the early videos, and then decided. So for some reason, English Civil War was in my mind at the same time, so it made sense to go back to Royalists and Roundheads. Yeah, I went ahead and just chose the Battle of Alford here. I don't think I've fought this battle before. I don't think I have. It's a fairly small battle. Yeah, it's a fairly small battle. Let's see. I've already started. This is the start of the 4th game turn. The game starts with the 1200 hours turn. These are 30-minute turns, so we're now starting the 1330 hours turn, which is game turn 4. Contact has been made on the other side, so the Covenanters left has already been charged, I guess you could say, by the Royalist right. So battle's already underway. Not sure too much else to say. I'm really playing. It's all very familiar. The design is very, very, very workmanlike. Like I said, I can't really recommend. Certainly not with this accursed Civil War round. It's definitely hard to recommend the Royalists and Roundheads series, but I guess before this accursed Civil War, Royalists and Roundheads was, I think, pretty much the only show in town for more than a dozen battles, moderate complexity. It's kind of low, moderate, low, a 4 on a 10 scale. Yeah. Okay. So the first player, the first player for this battle, for this scenario, is the Royalist side. The Royalists are in green here. The Covenanters in the white or cream. I guess it's a cream color. Off-white. Cream doesn't sound very military, so I'll say off-white. Okay. Actually, command changes. There are definitely some command changes. This is, I should say, forget the first player. We don't get to that first. The orders phase is a communal phase. Both players attempt to change orders. We want to do that. The Covenanters are trying to get more aggressive, go in the attack, and actually the Royalists might be good. I'll take a quick look. We'll talk about orders changes real quick and go from there. All right, here we've zoomed out a bit more. This is higher elevation. Low and rises. This is a hill here. Has a name. All right, I'm going to look at the battle history here. It's the Gallow Hill. Gallow Hill. Okay, so the Royalist here under Montrose. Yeah, Montrose. Montrose has the Royalist army here. Yeah. So his left is cavalry and I guess some musketeers here under Aboyne. His right is over there under, I think, Gordon. And then his center here. Who is that? McDonald. All right. Again, what's relevant? Okay. So they started up on the hill. They've moved forward. Actually, their center has moved just to the edge of the elevation change there. And both flanks have moved forward. Gordon, I think he starts and he still has attack orders. Yeah. He starts with attack orders and still has attack orders. I'm going to leave attack orders there. Let's see, Boyne has advance orders. Actually, Boyne's going to try to change to attack as well. Both sides, it seems to me, which I think at least somewhat comports with the historical record. I mean, both sides seem to have an interest in just trying to attack first and hit hard, and kind of try to, I don't know, get the upper hand. That's the way I see it. But let's talk about orders change. So as you can see, here's a Boyne. He's a leader. This is important. 1 star means that he's like a formation leader. Can't remember what they actually call it. He's a leader as opposed to overall leader. Yeah. So 1 star, it means he's a formation leader. He's this yellow color, so he's got these yellow troops. The Musketeers gray because the Musketeers don't fall under. It's an independent unit basically. So the leader there. What's important here are the values. His command value is 3, which, by the way, I'm just going to go ahead and roll. So he does it. So his command value is 3. His command span is 5. 5, and +1 is his combat bonus. So to change his order, which actually I do like I like the convention of putting out your order first before you try to change it. I should have done that, but actually I think I said, well, at least I thought it. I want him to go from the advance over to the attack. Alright, so to do that, you're just going to roll a die. You're just going to check the command value. And the only adjustment, the only modifier is if the leader is within the command span of the overall leader, he has a -1 die roll modifier. So here is Montrose. His command span's 5. So it would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not... Actually, he's just beyond Montrose's... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just beyond Montrose's command span, so he doesn't get the modifier, but he's still got equal to or less than his own command value. Rolled a 2, you need a 3 or less to change his order. So he is going from advance. He's switching over to the attack. That's going to give them some bonuses in the attack when they attack. Okay. You know, I should have... Yeah, I felt like going right into the description, but I should have... well, I'll just do it now. Okay. I also like the convention of laying all your order intents out and then rolling for them, so that you can't see where you've succeeded or not succeeded. But anyways, I'm not sure I had another because I want them to... They're in reserve. That's fine. I think they're standing. Standing's basically like defending. That's fine. Gordon is on the attack. I want him to stay on the attack. Oh, he's in a stand too. Actually, he's in stand too. That's fine. I will look at them later. I do know from before I wanted this guy. What's his name? Balcarus. So Balcarus has that command value of 2 there, lower left. He's also a formation leader there. has a command span of 4, combat modifier +1. I want him to go over the attack too. I've tried before and he failed to change his order, so it's actually the same. It's the same deal. Let's see if he can get it out. He is not within the command span of his overall leader. That's Bailey there. He's a command span of 4. So Balkaris is too far away. Yeah, he doesn't get it again. So that's 2 turns in a row that he is not able to change his order. So he stays with the advance order. Talk about what those mean. All of these orders dictate what you can and what you can and must do. So that is a command change right there. We had 1 attempt on the Covenanter side, 1 attempt on the Royalist side. That ends the communal orders phase. Now we go to the first player movement phase. First player by scenario, marked here. For this my little reminder again, and that is the Royalist side. This is whose turn it is currently. My reminder. Your first check, basically really easy. You're doing 2 things. You're checking for units to be in command, and then you're going to move everybody who you want to. Now everybody's in command because everybody's still everybody's still together, like they started the battle. This is per player though. So now this is the Royalist player's turn. Royalist players checking. So everybody's still contiguous, or everybody's still within the command span of their leaders, right? So actually, real quickly, for the Royalist left command span of 5. That's good. Royalist center front is 4. That's, I guess, average, and 4 for Gordon on the right. And then here, this is a case where, Napier is under here. He has a command span of 4. Again, I would say that's average. Montrose is the overall commander with him. Real quickly, Montrose is white because he's not also a formation leader. That's not the case on the Covenanter side. Bailey here is blue because Bailey is also the blue formation leader. 2 stars means he's the overall leader. And overall leaders have a few unique things about them. But he's also a formation leader because he's blue. So, yeah. So Bailey's both blue formation leader and overall Covenanter leader. On Montrose, on the Royalist side, Montrose is the overall leader, but he is not also a formation leader. All right. So then the Royalists can, let's talk about move, because all of these orders will dictate what I can do. So we go right through the list. Basically, Napier back here has the reserve order. Did I show his reserve order? Oops. That's trying to do this too far away. All right, set Montrose side. There's Napier. He's the formation leader. He has a reserve order. Basically, you can move, I guess what you might call normally, but you cannot get close to the enemy. I think you cannot get within 5 hexes of the enemy. I've already moved them up where I want them. I'm basically leaving retreat paths around. That's kind of old school, but this is an old school game. I've already moved McDonald up to the crest line there. Is that technically called a crest? I don't even know if that's technically called a crest, but I moved them up to the elevation line there. I already did that deliberately, so I don't need them to move anymore, but a quick review is Montrose has a stand order. I'm sorry, that's McDonald, it's not Montrose. McDonald has a stand order that basically, again, that's a defense order. That means move no more than 1 hex. So you can adjust yourself within your local area. But again, max 1 hex movement. Boyne has the attack order. Okay, so attack means that you must do what? You must do You have to move at least half your movement allowance, round fractions up, and must end closer to the enemy. So, but I did this on purpose. I want them to attack, so that's fine. So they are going to attack. So they're just going to charge right in. So 1, 2. Once you get adjacent, you don't have to. I mean, technically they're supposed to move 4. Once you move adjacent, I guess it's implied, right? So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The musketeers. 1, 2. Muskets can fire at range 1. Am I looking at that right? No, 2. Yeah. Be a problem if it was only 1, because they can't move adjacent to normal combat units. Okay, which means that they would be only defensive. These infantry back here are trailing. 1, 2, 3. Movement allowance is lower right. So cavalry over here is 8. Musketeers 4. Normal infantry, regular infantry is 3. Movement allowance. Okay, that's the movement. So again, your movement is kind of you have parameters you're definitely working within, right? So over here, again, Gordon has an attack order as well, so they're already adjacent, but these guys, first hex turn, first facing change, that's what I meant. First facing change is free, thereafter it's 1 per, so that was a free turn, and then they move forward, they enter the zone of control of the enemy here. Enemy combat units have a zone of control in their front 2 and 2 flank hexes, but not their 2 rear hexes. Boy, I know this stuff pretty well now. These guys are already engaged, so they don't, I mean, they're going to stay put. Now, the routed unit there, this is, I'm trying to remember, I think, route movement is, what is route movement? I'm trying to remember that. Route movement. I'll mention this real quick. This is another case. There's about probably a handful of very distinct rules changes as you go from volume 1, 2, and 3. Again, I want to just for uniformity use the latest, the last, the volume 3 rules. So in volume 2, it was moving half the movement allowance away from the enemy. But when you get to volume 3, which are the rules I'm going to use, it's 2 hexes. So they may move up to 2 hexes away from the nearest enemy. I'm going to take this routed stack. I'm going to move them just 1 away. They could stay put, as I understand it, but what I want to do, here's their Gordon, their commander. He has a command span of 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're still just barely within the command span of their leader Gordon, and I'm going to put them there so that they can try to rally later.